So I have been learning ICT trading for just about a month, and here is my honest review and my journey so far. I'm going to be looking at my laptop where I've kind of written out notes and reflections, and then I'm obviously going to insert some clips here and there of me taking documented footage of my ICT trading. The first thing that I want to talk about is kind of my expectations going into this. To be honest, I honestly thought that I would get all, at the time, 22 episodes completed in like 10 days to 2 weeks. So for the first 7 to 10 days, I was pretty much going ham and digesting as much knowledge as I could. So almost 2 hours later, just finished episode 2, well, my first episode of the ICT Mentorship 2022. One thing I did learn that was new was, the reasoning as to price gravitating and all these algorithms and stuff like that. And then I would actually take breaks. So what I mean by that is I would watch, let's say, 3 episodes in one day, then 2 episodes in one day, and then I would take a break. And in that break, I would actually go and see what I've learned and apply it to the charts and kind of start building up case studies. I was trying to, force myself to look at the charts and kind of see it play out. So then when I was watching more episodes, I was ingraining that and I was kind of like understanding exactly what Michael was saying rather than just continuing the video and not exactly understand the terminology or how he's analyzing the market. Anyways, we're on the 1 hour chart. I wanted to take you through this short idea that I had. I've been using the paper trading section because I realized I could do that. And yeah, here's a bunch of things I've been playing around with. However, the reality is that, yes, I went hard for the first, let's say, 2 weeks, but then reality hits and I went traveling, or the momentum kind of died down. Life happened, basically. I think that was just quite a natural transition where my learning was very cyclical. Let's say between week 2 to week 3, I kind of stopped watching content for a little bit, or maybe I would just rewatch content. Like, there was no new learning. And I was pretty hard on myself. And I remember reflecting on that I feel quite hard on myself that I'm not watching new content because I feel like I'm taking a step back. But in fact, those slow days where I'm not watching new content, where I feel like I'm trying to catch up with where Michael's at the moment so I could watch it live, that I'm still making a step forward in progress. So that's the reality. I am actually 18 episodes in within the first 4 weeks. So, I feel like doing these, sharing it live and chatting to the camera, just putting it up like here is really helpful for my own self-awareness and self-reflection, and to just share that just in case someone resonates with that. So I want to talk about how learning ICT in this month has kind of like affected my live trading now. I think I've mentioned in a Q&A how I pretty much always do multi-time frame analysis. It's funny because my first community that I was in, I was always doing multi-time frame analysis. The second community I was in, which is where I got funded. By the way, I wanted to point out that community number 1 is where Hannah got consistent. Community 2 is where I became funded. Those 2 communities have massively shaped me and helped me become the trader I am now. Strategy 2, which is kind of what I've been sharing in my back testing and stuff like that, is that I only looked at the 1 hour time frame, and that made sense because of the set of rules and the trading system that was in that strategy. Pretty much every time I look at the charts, taking trade, looking at multi-time frame analysis, especially the daily bias, since Michael puts a lot of emphasis on the daily bias. At first, it was quite complex to me, but now I'm kind of working on a system at the moment that kind of makes sense to me. I found that the power of incorporating the intraday timeframes with that daily bias and to spot kind of the points of interest across the board. So let's say the daily, the 4 hour, the 1 hour, then the 15, and then the 5, and then trying to find that fair value gap is pretty damn accurate. And I think a lot of people can back me on that. A lot of the other students can back me on that. Seeing price react, pretty accurate, pretty scary, pretty cool, pretty exciting. I don't know. It's cool though. And I guess that kind of leads me on to what's been working well. And obviously that is incorporating obviously the high time frame stuff, so like the daily bias. What's also been working well is just seeing that stacked with an imbalance and seeing price would just magnetize and move towards these areas of value, especially when there's an imbalance near it, as well as equal highs or equal lows, because price would want to grab liquidity and then head towards a certain direction. And at first it kind of was not making sense to me, and I kind of looked into this back in 2020 is when I was looking into this. I remember being really confused because it was just complete alien language to me, and then I kind of just left it for a little bit, and then now I've kind of outgrown the old strategy that I've been in. That saying, you know, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear, and I feel like that's kind of what happened with ICT. And I've done another tangent, golly gosh guys. What's been working well is I'm just getting a lot more chart time, and it's a lot more interactive for me, and I feel like it's a positive cycle for me as a trader, especially where I am right now in terms of wanting to have more chart time and interactivity, if that's a word, because I think I've shared it in my Q&A again, that sometimes I'll take, you know, 4 trades a week, but then sometimes I'll take 4 trades a month. And at first, at the start, as the person I was and as a trader I was back then, it didn't matter to me. It was fine. I always had that mentality, you know, if the setup's there, then cool. However, I think I'm evolving now also as a trader, and I just want that more. I want to be more involved with the charts, and I feel like it's a positive loop for me, because if I'm more involved in the charts, you know, I want to have that more structured routine of, let's say, trading the London session, or that London session kill zone, New York open kill zone, etc, etc. I feel like that's going to work well with me. So for this final bit, it's kind of like, you know, what I plan to do moving forward and what I kind of need help with. And all honesty, you know, obviously sometimes things get overwhelming, and I think overall it's just me managing my mindset. But obviously I am creating a more systemized approach to analyzing the charts that works well for me, and I need to put emphasis on that, because a great example is back when I did like my traveling video, and I asked you guys, where do you think the BMS is, which is break of market structure, is 0.1 or 0.2? I thought it was 0.2. ICT said it was 0.1. However, let's say 80% of people said it was 0.2, and 20% said it was 0.1. So it just goes to show that we see the market so differently, even though there's a lot of students of ICT. We all see the market differently, and obviously that's why I put emphasis on me finding a systemized approach for myself. Yeah, obviously I've been here in Philippines, seeing family literally back to back. I feel like my schedule's been out of whack. I feel like I haven't really been taking care of myself, like mentally, because I've just not had time to be honest. And then obviously I feel like I've been struggling to make these videos. My mic broke, and I'm really just hoping that this mic is working. It's been really a journey learning ICT, and it's very, very exciting, and I'm still excited to learn. Right now, the reality is just routine's really messed up, and I've learned a lot in these 18 episodes, especially just going back through my notes and just sharing, you know, what my favorite episodes were, or what I found was the most difficult episode 12. I kind of had no clue what was going on there. No, I'm kidding. I've gone through it and I pretty much pick up what Michael's saying, but as I shared a few weeks ago, I still want to translate that into something that makes sense to me. You know, episode 6, I got a lot of notes on this. This was episode 6. Really good episode. I think that's when we learn about the fair value gap, which is kind of like the entry point. Obviously episode 17, that was episode 17. That was really good, because obviously that's when we start having forex application. Where's the one about power of 3? I really like that episode. Episode 9, learning about accumulation, manipulation, distribution. Thought that was very interesting. Even episode 7 was really good. Daily bias and consolidation hurdles. So this is where I start learning about, you know, the daily time frame, you know, learning about premium, discount, and the range between that. So that was pretty much the end of the video, and hopefully it all made sense. Again, I'm not here to teach ICT. I'm here to just document and share what I think of it, the process of me doing it, especially if you're learning ICT as well, or even learning any other strategy, or just learning Forex in general. You're not alone. I'm with you. I'm doing the whole learning thing with you. I'm trading with you. I don't ever want you guys to, you know, kind of see me up here. Hopefully this is something relatable. You know, we all go through struggles, and I've shared some struggles here today. Not everything's highlights. There's sometimes lowlights. And yeah, it's been stressing me out that I've just been, like, first of all, this video's late. My mic broke, and I hope it's working now. I mean, if it's static and this video's up, then I'm sorry. I just didn't want to keep delaying this video. And yeah, it's been stressful, even though obviously I'm abroad and I'm supposed to be having fun. I do still think of work and wanting to grow and elevate business mindset, all areas obviously, but I'm still trying to enjoy myself. Anyways guys, thank you for watching. If you liked it, leave a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. God bless.
La, 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 la. Catch you on the flip side. Maybe we can be friends when you're not so fragile.